Welcome back to the channel. Today what I'm going to be talking about is steroids, the great lie. And also how it actually robs you of you. Now, these are not actual numbers that I'm going to use. It's pretty much just numbers I'm using to simplify the process of how steroids is normally used. We'll say that the human body naturally makes up about 200 millimeters of testosterone a month. That's just a number that I'm coming up with. 200 milliliters of testosterone a month. All right. Okay, let's say this individual is into bodybuilding. He wants to build his body up. So you have different types of suspensions of testosterone. You have some that last 3 days. You have some that last a week. You have some which are the long-term ones that last about 2 weeks. And we're gonna just naturally assume that this person is taking the long-term suspension, which is about 2 weeks long. So they're gonna add an extra 200 milliliters of testosterone to the body, which only lasts half of that month. So within half of the month, this person have gone from 200 milliliters a month until 400 milliliters a month, right? Okay, this is where that extra muscle growth comes from. This is where that extra endurance comes from. This is where that rapid recuperative powers come from. That extra 200 milliliters of testosterone for half of that month. Now, before those 2 weeks are up, when that person injects that extra 200 milliliters, their testosterone levels will gradually drop from that shot over the next 2 weeks. And before they drop all the way to back to their 200 milliliters, their normal amount of testosterone, they're going to have to give themselves another shot, which will keep their testosterone levels elevated. And in order to even get the benefit out of the drug, you have to take the drug for a extended period of time in order for it to work, in order for you to reach the size that you are trying to reach, right? So you have moved your bench press from 200 pounds to 300 pounds. You have moved your body weight from 170 pounds to 225 pounds. You know, you're rapidly increasing in strength. You're rapidly increasing in size. And you begin to have this this high of greatness, is what I want to call it, because you know, with that extra power that your body is generating, with that extra size that you're seeing, it's gonna end up becoming addictive. You know, at one point, testosterone shots were pretty much used for people with depression to uplift them, and because of that quality of the drug, it also makes you feel less tired, more up, and that's why they used it for depression and stuff like that. So you got a person that's walking around within a month's time, they've moved from 200 milliliters to about 400 milliliters of testosterone in the body. So you actually added another person to you because you're carrying the testosterone level of another person. So you're doing this for an extended period of time, which normally lasts, you know, for years. And the individual that's taking this stuff for years, you begin to suppress your natural testosterone levels because your levels are too high. The body is a perfect machine. So what it's going to start doing, it's going to stop producing its own testosterone and start lowering itself because you are artificially increasing the levels to your body from the shots. So as your natural testosterone levels drop, the individuals that actually taking the steroids will plateau. And a lot of times they're saying that they're plateauing because, the body is reached as far as it can go. Not really. It's reached as far as it can go because your natural levels have dropped. So rather than you carry the 400 milliliters that you started out with, over time, your natural testosterone levels drop. So when they drop, the levels that you have dropped. Let's say you drop down from 200 milliliters naturally down to 100. So now you're walking around with 300 milliliters, but you're not able to generate that same power because you're 100 milliliters down. That's actually is how steroids rob you of you, because your natural abilities are greatly diminished as you use the drug. So simply because you are down to 300 milliliters now, because your natural levels have dropped, you have to either increase the amount of drug that you're using to get back to the level that you was of 400. So now you are substituting another shot. So now the thing that you're doing is incredibly increasing your testosterone levels at that point. So normally when these guys begin to plateau like that, rather than take the drug every 2 weeks, they go to taking it 200 milliliters every week. So if they're taking the 200 milliliters every week, you're looking at about, 800 milliliters of additional testosterone to the body. So now you have become twice a human. Twice. Because you are carrying an extra 800 milliliters on top of your already 200 milliliters. Now, that right there within itself would suppress your natural testosterone levels even lower. So you would naturally be walking around with the 400 milliliters again, but your natural testosterone levels have pretty much given up. Your body say, I do not need to produce testosterone at all, because all of your testosterone in your body is artificially issued. So now your testosterone level have moved down to 60 milliliters, all the way from 200 milliliters to 60 milliliters. It dropped to 100 at first, remember. Now it didn't drop all the way down to 60 from 200. Okay, so now you're walking around with 60 milliliters, maybe 50 milliliters. You have the natural testosterone levels of a 70 to 80-year-old man. Right? So the only testosterone that you're carrying in your body, the 400 milliliters, well, better yet, the 800 milliliters, simply because you are taking it 200 milliliters every week. So when you either run out of money from buying the drugs, you can say, let's say that the drugs costing you $70 to $80 a pop. That's $80 times 4 every month. Not only are they taking the steroids, they are also taking the insulin. The insulin to force glucose into the muscles to rapidly help expand the cells and the energy properties of it. So not only do you have the steroids, you got the insulin cost on top of that. So you're spending a exorbitant amount of money every month. And without the shots, you're not able to maintain the muscles and stuff that you have. And this right here is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Once you, let's say, run out of money, right? Or you decide not to use the drug anymore. Some of them say that they cycle themselves off the drugs. Even with cycling, with long-term use, you still suppress your natural testosterone levels to the point of a old man anyway. And once you have years of doing this, your testosterone levels do not recover. They won't recover because your body will stop making testosterone altogether. And then you're stuck with testosterone therapy from your doctor just to try to get you back up to where you were, so you still stuck with having to use the drug because you have damaged your body. Now, it's bad enough just living everyday life that your testosterone levels will naturally drop from your 30s on through. It's going to naturally drop, so why would you want to help it? So, let's say you decide to, again, stop taking the drug, or you run out of money to buy the drug, because without it, you won't have that big body anymore. Your body is done. Okay? So, you try to wean yourself off of taking the drugs, or you run out of money. If you run out of money, you got a real problem because of the uplift that the drug gives you. It also would force you to go into depression because you no longer have that uplift from the drug, so you're going to go into depression, and that's an issue. Even when you wean yourself off of it, the depression is coming, but it's coming a little bit later. Okay, now you have completely stopped using the drugs, and your system is completely clear of drugs. Okay, you have no way of holding on to the muscle because your testosterone levels is what got your muscles up to that point. That's what holds the nitrogen in the muscle to make the muscles as big as they are. So you no longer are able to hold that nitrogen in the muscle, so the muscle shrinks. So they say, well, I shrink back to where I was. No, you don't shrink back to where you was. You go below where you first started from. You go below that. This is what I'm trying to get you to see. Why do you go below that? Because your natural testosterone levels have been diminished down to 50, remember? You have the natural testosterone levels of a 70, 80-year-old man now. So you are no longer able to even hold the muscle of a person that's your age anymore. That's why you get even smaller. That's why I'm trying to tell you that taking this stuff is a lie. Taking this stuff is a cheat. Taking this stuff is going to greatly destroy everything you've ever worked for in the gym. That's why it doesn't make sense to use the drug at all. Anyway, that's what I want to talk to y'all about. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And again, I'll be talking to you later.